cheers to story times, because that's what this video is about today. Okay, so yes, my face is bare. I don't have makeup on, but I really wanted to get these story times out. So, yeah, let's get to it. Cheers. Okay, so, if you guys saw my sign language journey, part 1, episode 1, I talked a little bit about the fact that I said I would make a video about my story times about and that involve ASL sign language. So here we go. Here's some story times that I've done that include sign language. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm still a little tired and it's morning and I'm not a morning person and these glasses are giving me glares. Anyway, so I'm a little tired. Anyway. So let's get to the video. Okay, so the first story time, most of them take place in my 6th grade year. So yeah. So I was in 6th grade. Okay, so back in 6th grade, I had quite a lot of friends. Now I only have like 2 friends. Okay, anyway. I had a lot of friends, and my best friends and me had a couple classes, and we would want to talk all the time. Like, we would try and pass notes, but every time we got caught. So, I thought about the great idea that let's do sign language. So, I sent her pictures over of the alphabet, sign language in alphabet, A, B, C, D. I think that's D. No, it's not. This is D. E, whatever, anyway. I sent her over a picture, an image of the alphabet, and I said, hey, learn these so we can talk in class and do sign language in class. So it took a couple days for her to learn them. And after she got the hang of it, we started doing sign language in class. But the teacher, so what we did was the teacher was talking, and we either did it under the table or we like put our hands up and did sign language as the teacher was looking away. And that lasted for actually a couple weeks. But we wanted to talk more, especially on days that we had a lot of tea. We wanted to talk more about it, but there wasn't enough time in class or lunch to really talk about all of the tea we had to spill. So, we decided to try and be a little bit more sneaky and risky in our line. And in our line, we were, I think it was a fire drill, or we were walking or something. I'm not quite sure what it was, but we were walking in the hallway, and I just kept turning around being like, hi. That's not sign language, sorry. I can't do 2 things at once. I'm like trying to do it fast and I can't do it fast. But I was like, hi. And we would talk all about the tea until we stopped walking. And I didn't do anything yet. She did a couple signs. I'm like, as I wrote out stop. And the teacher then looked at us right as I finished stop. And she's like, what are you doing? We're like, nothing. And then she walks away and she continues talking to the other part of the class. So then I'm like, what? And we have like a 5-second conversation before the teacher looks at me and sees me signing. And she's like, excuse you, what are you doing? There's supposed to be no talking. It is supposed to be silent. And I'm over here like, because I didn't know what to say, because I can't really say I'm talking, even though it's not talking. So I'm like, sign language? And she's like, okay, if you're going to talk to your friends while I'm talking, what did I say then? So I repeated everything she said, and she kind of just sat there in shock. And then she got super mad at me and was like, you're not allowed to sign. You can't talk. That is so unbelievably rude and horrible. And she just kind of started yelling at me after I kind of did a smart aleck move. And the funny thing is, there are other kids in the line that are screaming at the top of her lungs. Like, excuse me, you need to stop this, Kaylee. I don't know. And she actually said a different name, but I'm not gonna tell you guys the real name she said. But there were other kids over here screaming at the top of their screaming at the top of their lungs, talking to their friends all the way at the front of the line. And I'm like, you're talking to me, the one being completely silent, and also just said everything you just said? Yeah, I got detention and I got in trouble. All the other kids got a thank you. Good job for being silent. And another thing is, this teacher also saw my friend do sign language a couple times, and she didn't say a single word to her. And this teacher, all of my teachers actually liked me. I was a decently good kid, except for this one teacher who just, I don't know if this teacher didn't like me. I don't know if this teacher did like me. She was super nice. She was always nice to me, but I don't know. So yeah, that's story time 1. Comment what you guys think of that, because I don't know. It's a little annoying, but like, I don't know. Okay, so another story time is same 6th grade. I was talking at my locker with my friend, and it was so loud we couldn't hear anything, and we just tried getting louder, but that just made everyone else go louder. So we're like, okay, hi, how are you? Kind of thing. And everyone kind of just stopped for 5 seconds and stared at us while we're doing sign language. And we didn't notice it at first. But everyone kind of just stopped for 3 seconds, stared at us, and then went back to talking. And I heard like 5 people talk about me and my friend. And we're just like, did we do something? And one kid actually came up to us and she's like, that's not sign language. And this is like the girl who hated me and her whole group of friends. But they came up to me and that's not sign language. This is sign language. And she was doing sign language for horse, a couple colors, pop. She was doing a couple different signs that I didn't know very well, but my mom knows sign language, so every once in a while she does her whole conversation and also says it in sign language. It kind of gets stuff from that. But she's like, this is sign language. And then she did horse and pop and other stuff. And I'm like, do you even know what you're saying? Because what you're saying is not a conversation, nor is it a sentence. You were just saying horse, pink, pop, and other stuff. And she stares at me like, excuse me? I'm like, at least we're having conversations. You're just saying random words. And I'm like, and she's like, and then walks away, storming off like she's the little queen of the castle. And I'm like, so I just sit there and tell my friend everything, because my friend was like, wait, what happened? And I'm like, oh, this happened. She's like, and so we just sat there laughing for like 5 minutes straight. Teacher comes out and she's like, why are you guys laughing? So I'm like, oh, so I told her parts of the story because I didn't want to get myself in trouble, nor did I want to get the other student in trouble. No matter how much I really didn't like that student, I still didn't want to get them in trouble. And the teacher's like, oh, and then she left with us. And then the bell rang and so we had to go in class and act like nothing happened. I'm trying to think of another story time. Okay. Ugh, I just dropped my phone. Okay. I thought I stopped recording. Hi. Okay, anyway, the next story time. So during cafeteria lunch, we kind of stopped doing sign language after those a couple encounters. So you slowed down with the sign language a bit. But we really my friend had something really important to tell me. I don't remember what it was. I don't even think it was that important. But, the principal was making an announcement about, like, we can't go outside. And, and so as he made the announcement, we're like, she's telling me something super important. And the principal's staring, turning around to everyone. He stops to look at my friend for 3 seconds as he's talking, and then he continues talking and just completely ignores us. And he didn't even see me sign. He just saw my friend sign. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, I need to tell you something. And it was kind of stupid. Okay, so she got done telling me it was important. He was still talking. And then I'm like, that's horrible. And also super awesome at the same time. Because I think that's something horrible and then super awesome. I don't quite know. But I said something around the lines of horrible and awesome. And then I'm like, oh, hey, I need to tell you something super urgent, but it actually wasn't that urgent. It was a pretty stupid move of me to tell her this, but I told her about this really cute guy that I liked. And the principal stares, stops talking completely, looks at me, and then continues. And then when he's done, he comes over to walk at me. And he comes over to walk to me and is like, did you really just do that while I'm trying to talk here? This is a very, very urgent and important situation. Do you even know what I said? I'm like, yes. And I did know what he said. I know everything he said. But I couldn't exactly smart talk him like I did with the other teacher because he's the principal. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta take my consequences. It was stupid for me to tell her about a boy I liked while he's doing this. So I'm like, okay, gotta take my consequences. He didn't give me detention or anything because I said, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I did do it again, but he didn't catch me the last time. Anyway, and so I'm, okay. And then he leaves, and I'm signing to my friend. And I'm like, how did you not get in trouble? How did I get in trouble? And her friend's like, oh, I don't know. And so that was our lunch period, basically finishing it off and talking about how I got in trouble and she didn't. But, like, I don't know why the teachers always come for me instead of my friends. The only teacher that came for my friend was my favorite teacher, which will be in the next story time. Okay, so this is the last story time I have. And this time the teacher didn't come for me. The teacher came for my friend, which I was so thankful about because this girl was my favorite teacher. And I was so sick of getting in trouble at this point. I was like, you know what? If I get in trouble again, I'm gonna... Noah, Mama wants you to go to her.
And he hasn't finished his school yet.
I know. Okay. My mother tested me. Anyway, I just wanted to go like, if you don't defend me this time, I'm just gonna, because I was so sick of me getting in trouble when I only signed 2 letters and then someone catches me and they're like, excuse you. So, I was kind of over that. Anyway, so I think it was I'm pretty sure it was science class because she was my favorite teacher. I just overall really liked all the hand stuff we did in science. But anyway, ooh, I just got the shivers. Anyway, so we were walking into science, and me and my friend were signing to each other because we just really like signing. We were a little rusty on words, but we still signed. Well, she was rusty. I still knew all of the alphabet, and I was still learning stuff. But, so we were signing as we walk into the class, and we're signing as everyone's sitting down. And the second she started talking, I'm like, okay, I gotta listen, because I love this teacher. I didn't want to get on her bad side at all. I love this teacher so much, and I actually really enjoyed science class, especially with her as the teacher. So, I was like, okay, we gotta talk about this later. And so we start talking about it. After like 10 minutes in class, my friend's like, hey, look at this. And then she starts talking, and I'm like, hey, not now. And the science teacher could not understand sign language at all. And so I'm like, hey, not now. But my friend's like, wait, come on, please. I'm like, no, I really want to listen to this. I'm trying to understand her, and I want to get good grades here. And so the teacher is like, okay, class, eyes up here. And I froze, and I'm like, eh. And she could see I was sorry. Because, like, when I get in trouble with teachers that I really like, you can tell if I'm sorry. Because I have a weird sorry face. I can't re-show you guys unless I'm talking to a teacher and I'm sorry. But I don't know. I just have this weird sorry face for teachers, especially ones I like. I don't have it anymore, but it used to be really easily visible in 6th grade. 7th grade, you can still kind of see it, but not as visible. Anyway, and so the teacher's like, oh, okay, she's definitely sorry. So, whatever. But then my friend continued to try to talk to me, and I'm like, stop it. And I just completely ignored her because she wouldn't stop talking to me. And so after class, the teacher walks up to me, and I'm like, oh, are you serious? I was about to be real mad at this teacher. And she's like, hey, are you guys okay? And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect her. I was trying to tell her to stop. And she's like, oh. What are you guys talking about, if you don't mind me asking? Because I can't understand sign language. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. She just kept on saying, hey, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, no, stop. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she went over to talk to my friend, and my friend got in trouble. I don't know what she said to my friend, but my friend was like, are you serious? And had this really angry face on after the teacher left. After class, because we had a break when the teacher came up to talk to us, and then, because we had to write stuff down for what she was teaching us, and then, so after class, my friend starts ranting to me about what, this teacher said, and the teacher said, well, guess what, you're not allowed to sign, and she said it in the exact attitude. I'm like, I don't think she did that, because this teacher's very kind, and, you know, but I just went along with it because she's still a friend. But she was so angry after because she got in trouble. I'm like, I love you, but like, how do you think I feel every time I get in trouble for making a couple little signs? And she's like, I'm still super angry. It's different. So, yeah. But that's all the story times I have. If you guys want more story times, because I have a couple more, just they aren't really sign language related, comment down below and I will do more story times. But comment your favorite story time and comment what you guys think of the story times, because I want to know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Love you guys. Bye. I don't want to edit this video.